You're watching LMCC, your community TV.
Hi, I'm Kellie Murphy-Ringate, Fire Marshal and Public Educator for the Excelsior Fire District, and welcome to First Responder TV, your local public safety source, featuring training exercises, safety tips, and much more. Here's what's coming up on First Responder TV. I'll talk with Meredith Hawes from the National Fire Protection Association. The LMCC safety expert gives us some important trail safety tips on Safety Source. We'll feature West Hennepin Public Safety Department's recently deployed weapon-mounted cameras on making a difference. Scam Alert will give you updates on scams that have been targeting citizens in the lake area. Thanks for joining us, Meredith.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm pleased to be here.
So first thing I want to ask is about you. Tell us about how long you've been with the NFPA and a little of your background.
So I've been full-time with the NFPA for about 4 years. Prior to that, I worked as an advisor while I was with a local fire department. I work as a regional education specialist in the Midwest and Mid-Atlantic region with about 16 states in that area.
And including those states is Minnesota.
Minnesota, one of my favorite states.
So can you tell us a little about the history of the NFPA?
Sure. So NFPA is not a household name. We'd like it to be. However, it's an organization, a nonprofit that's been around since 1896. And our mission, we're dedicated to eliminating deaths because of fires, electrical reasons, other hazards. And we're made up of about 300 employees, even more, 6,000 technical committee members and 60,000 members overall. And so what that all means is that we facilitate the development of codes and standards around life safety and many other things. And so if you don't mind if I go a little bit further about that, but I think it's really interesting because I was not familiar with NFPA until I became acquainted with the fire service, and yet it touches all of our lives every day. And we don't even realize it. So when you walk into a building and there are lit exit signs, when you climb up stairs that have a uniform rise and run, when you are out in a place of assembly and the occupancy should only hold a certain number of people, all of those things are because of the NFPA and the work that we do in bringing fire and life safety code together. It also, now there's some interesting trends that are bubbling up. So we're talking about things like fuel storage and unmanned aerial devices or drones. And so things that we wouldn't have considered before, and some things that are happening across the country that we have to respond to, like active shooter and hostile event response. So again, it affects almost all of us every day, and yet not a well-known acronym that we'd like to continue to become more familiar to the public.
Well, and what the public is familiar with, probably more associated with NFPA, is Sparky the fire dog.
That's right.
So can you tell us how Sparky joined the NFPA?
Yeah, sure. So Sparky got his roots, his inspiration, really from Smokey the Bear, with the U.S. Forest Service. And because Smokey the Bear had been so successful, Sparky was born, but his character and his look has evolved over the years, and now we know him as the Sparky character who, in some areas, as we were talking earlier, as well known as Mickey Mouse and some of the characters from Disney.
I know in the Excelsior Fire District, all the kids know who Sparky the fire dog is.
Glad to hear that.
Yes. Now, Sparky has a new friend named Simon. Can you tell us a little bit about Simon?
Fire Prevention Week is the longest running health observance in U.S. history, and it started out of the commemoration for the Great Chicago Fire. So I have to give that little bit of history to get to Simon, so bear with me. So we set a theme at NFPA each year for Fire Prevention Week, and traditionally it's been a lot to do with Sparky and around Sparky. But this year we really wanted to appeal to a larger, more broad audience, including adults. And so Simon was born, and he's a cute little blue character that's Sparky's pal, and he's out looking, listening, learning how to prevent fires and keep us safe. So our theme this year is look, listen, learn, be aware, fire can happen anywhere.
Let's talk about some of the campaigns outside of fire prevention. This winter there's a new campaign with the NFPA. I believe it's called put a freeze on winter fires.
That's right.
And that is a partnership with the U.S. Fire Administration.
That's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
This is actually, we've been doing this a couple of years, and it's a great partnership because, of course, USFA does tremendous work, and anytime we can work together in tandem and co-brand some materials, we're all about that. So we did just that. We know that there's an increase with fires over those winter months, and there's some specific reasons why, and we really want to get out the word about reducing those fires, and it has a lot to do with not only winter storms that can cause us to use things like candles if our power goes out, but also generators, and we have the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. We see alternative heat sources in the winter time, so the use of fireplaces and wood stoves and space heaters, and so all of those things contribute to that increase around the winter months when it comes to fires.
So if you were to grab 3 tips from that campaign for our Minnesota viewers, especially our Lake Minnetonka ice house users, what 3 tips?
When you start up the heating equipment in your home, have it checked by a professional and make sure that it's maintenance. So your fireplace to be cleaned out, again the wood stoves, and make sure with space heaters that you give space heaters space, that they're in good working condition, they're plugged directly into the wall and they're turned off before you leave the house and before you go to bed at night. I would also say make sure you have a working carbon monoxide detector and alarm in your home. That's so very important because it's the silent killer, we say. You can't smell it, taste it, feel it, but a lot of people are overcome by poisonous levels of carbon monoxide. And then the last thing, and we're a little far off from this, but the holidays are coming, and we want to make sure that we dispose of Christmas trees in a timely fashion, because we see not a lot of Christmas tree fires, but when we do, they're very dangerous and sometimes fatal, and they happen in that January month when the trees get dry and we quit watering and worrying about them, but they don't get disposed of properly.
Now, is there anything else that you would like to talk about when it comes to the NFPA that we haven't covered?
One thing I'd like to highlight, home escape plans. It's a part of our campaigns every year because it's so important, and what a lot of people don't realize is how fast our fires are burning today, and it has a lot to do with open floor plans in homes, lightweight construction materials, and all the synthetic products that we fill our homes with. And so we really have less than a couple of minutes from when a fire starts to get out of a home. And so when you think about the time for your properly working smoke alarm to go off, it's still such a minimal amount of time. So I would really encourage Minnesotans to look at making sure they have a home escape plan, and then practicing that plan, making sure it works around everybody's abilities in their home, that they know where to go and they have a meeting place. And then right behind that, Kelly, I would say because of the societally what we're seeing with trends, as you know, active shooter events, hostile events are something that we talk about regularly, and that combined with weather emergencies, really it's everyone's responsibility to look around when you enter a building. If you're in a place of public assembly, whether it's your faith-based organization or a concert or a restaurant, make sure that you take a quick moment to look around for where your exits are, because oftentimes when you walk in, our instinct is to go back out the same exit when there might be a closer exit someplace else. So if everybody would take a moment to do that, I think we could really reduce the risks when we have some of those types of events.
Now, one thing a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people know is NFPA has materials in different languages. Could you tell us about some of those languages that those materials have been translated into?
Sure. So you'll find a lot of our programs translated from English into Spanish, but we also have a number of tip sheets that are in a variety of languages, and depending on the requests that we get, and I know we had some out of Minnesota, for the Hmong population, and so you'll find some of those language translations on our website. You can go to nfpa.org. There's a tab for public education, and you can find it down through there if you're looking for tip sheets, or you can simply Google NFPA tip sheets, and you'll find some of those translations as well.
And our citizens can basically Google almost every life safety tip that they could possibly think of, and NFPA has information on that.
Absolutely. I feel really confident to say we've covered pretty much everything.
I believe you have. So I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Everyone's favorite master of avoiding danger is back. The LMCC safety expert gives us some important trail safety tips on Safety Source.
And now it's time for Lake Minnetonka's favorite champion of safety, protector of humankind, and master of avoiding danger, the LMCC's safety expert.
I think I just stepped in some doggy dew. Yuck. Oh, hi, it's your favorite safety expert here. I'm coming to you today from the Lake Minnetonka LRT on a beautiful fall afternoon with some important trail safety tips. Joining me as always is my trusted guinea pig. Sidekick, camera operator.
Hi.
Today, camera operator will demonstrate the do's and don'ts on the trail to make sure that you stay safe. Are you ready to get started, little buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Great, let's get started. But you know what? Bring over the pooper scooper and clean this mess up. Yuck.
Okay.
When the trail crosses the road, you need to pay attention to what the signs on the trails say. If it's a stop sign, you must wait until traffic is clear before you cross. If it's a yield sign, you should wait until cars see you and stop, allowing you to cross. Or in the case of this crossing in Shorewood, there's a sign indicating for you to push it to turn on the traffic yield lights, which will make traffic aware of your presence so they can stop for you to cross.
All right, Big Red's gonna come to a stop right here. Bang! This side over here, this is completely clear. All right, we're gonna create a seam here, and then boom! Through the intersection, right up the gut. Now, camera operator will show you what not to do. Okay, buddy, I want you to close your eyes and race right through the intersection.
No.
But would you do it for a Scooby snack?
Yeah.
Great. Go get him, Slugger.
You're operating without a brain.
You did it, pal.
Come on.
Huh? Oh, sorry, I'm all out of Scooby snacks.
When approaching someone slower on the trail, you should always pass on the left-hand side and make yourself known to the person you are passing.
Pay attention and keep your ears open. You certainly don't want to be blocking your trail if somebody's coming by. That could cause a major accident.
Look out!
Make sure the trail under you is clean of debris.
Sweeping.
You know, something like nails could cause a major accident.
What is that? Huh?
Communication on the trail is key, but don't overdo it with something like, oh, I don't know, an air horn app.
What's that?
Wow, that was loud.
If you come across an animal on the trail, such as a coyote or a black bear, your best choice of action is hazing, which involves you yelling and waving your arms as you approach the animal. Make yourself as big as possible and throw small rocks if you must. Never run away. You can back away slowly the way you came, and then alert the authorities.
Now, camera operator will show you what not to do with animals. Okay, bud, go on over and say hi to our rabid little friend.
No.
Don't you want to teach our great viewers the importance of trail safety?
No.
See, I think he likes you. Go ahead and pat him on the head.
Nice boy. Good.
Well, I hope you all learned some valuable trail safety tips today. I know I sure did. How about you, camera operator? Great. Now, grab our gear. I gotta get to Grandma's house for some spaghetti hot dish.
Help me.
What? You need help? Fine. I guess I've got to do everything around here. Got the footage. Let's go.
When we come back, we'll spotlight West Hennepin Public Safety Department's weapon-mounted cameras on making a difference.
Mike, I'm heading out to run some errands. Better get up soon. Mike, don't you have to go to work? Mike. Honey? Are you listening to me?
Mike, get up. Mike, wake up. Michael, get up. Honey, get up. Mike, baby, wake up.
We're excited to announce that we have implemented a weapon-mounted camera system for all of our police officers at our department. What we were looking for at our police department was how do we capture low-frequency, high-risk events that involve an officer's firearm or use of force. For over 18 years, we've had squad-mounted dash cams or mobile video recorders in our squad cars. Along with those mobile dash cams, we also have a audio microphone that's on the police officer during that same time. Through our research, we learned that the majority of our arrests, our investigative statements, and our incidents were already being captured on the squad dash cameras and the portable audio recording devices on the officers themselves. A local company called Veridian Weapons Technologies in Maple Plain came to us in the summer of 2017 and asked us to be a part of their pilot program for a weapon-mounted camera that attaches to the end of an officer's firearm.
Your hands where we can see them. Face away. Down on your knees.
Those situations where a firearm is in use, that's the time that we want to collect and have this information recorded to show what was happening at that time. Again, supplementing our dash-mounted cameras.
And there's a gun in here.
I have a camera on my gun in my holster, and it's turned off, and it's on, and it's off, and it's on. No officer interaction. The weapon starts to come out of the holster. It turns on the camera. It's set up so that if you want to have the flashlight come on automatically, it will come on automatically.
Police department, anyone in here, come out, your hands up.
Some of the things that just struck me about this was, again, the size of the piece of the equipment, the clarity of the video and audio that it captured for us.
Lance, we got one with a gun back here.
Okay.
Down on your knees.
Body cams and dash cams were not specifically designed to capture officer-involved shootings. Veridian weapon-mounted cameras were designed specifically to capture officer-involved shootings and be used with or without body cams.
Keep coming back now towards my voice.
We have dash cams in our patrol cars. We wear microphones on our uniform as part of their duty on the street. It's already capturing them on video and audio, so they have that. Having this on their weapon, our officers have looked at this and appreciated having the next level of recording to show their actions and what they're doing. Our officer is not afraid of their judgment and what they're doing.
LMCC Community Television has come a long way since its inception in 1984.
Buongiorno, friends. We've got an exciting show for you today. Today's secret Yellow Pages letter is B. All right, let's get to it.
Yeesh. Did anyone actually watch this program? But now, LMCC's high-definition evolution is complete. Introducing Community Channel 12 in HD. Watch high school sports, concerts, and LMCC's award-winning original programming in crystal clear HD. Your community TV, now in HD.
Bremer Bank, St. Anthony, Maine. Bremer Bank, Richfield.
Welcome back to First Responder TV. It's time for Scam Alert. This segment alerts the public on scams that have been reported to local police departments.
Better Business Bureau of Minnesota and North Dakota is warning about scammers claiming to be from the IRS and threatening consumers that a debt must be paid immediately. Triple B is advising the public that the IRS will never make calls demanding immediate payment and will initiate contact with taxpayers through the mail. Scammers can utilize technology that alters the information which appears on caller ID, so it may appear as though a call is originating from the IRS. Phony IRS calls attempt to manipulate people's fears to coerce them into making hard-to-trace payments, such as wire transfers, gift cards, or prepaid debit cards. These scammers threaten arrest or even deportation if the alleged tax debts are not paid immediately. However, the IRS will never threaten to bring in the local police to have you arrested for not paying or demand payment without giving you the opportunity to appeal the debt in question. If you receive one of these fraudulent IRS phone calls, Triple B recommends you hang up and protect your personal information. Never give out any personal or financial information over the phone, including your social security number. You can file a formal complaint with the Federal Trade Commission at www.ftc.gov/complaint. Better Business Bureau of Minnesota and North Dakota is warning consumers about a fake pop-up alert scam which tells computer users that adult content has been detected. People are told to call an 877 number before closing the page or their computer access will be disabled to prevent further damage to our network. The alert also says financial data, Facebook logins, and credit card details are being stolen. Though these alerts look scary, they only become dangerous when people call the phone numbers listed in the message. After calling the 877 number, the person claimed they were with Microsoft and offered to run a free scan of the computer. However, allowing anyone remote access to your computer puts your sensitive personal and financial information at risk. One way to avoid such alerts is to have antivirus and anti-spyware protection on your computer and to stay away from suspicious or compromised websites. Triple B urges people to simply close the page or browser and the alerts should go away. If you're concerned about an alert you've received, go to www.bbb.org to report your experience. Don't call the phone numbers that appear within these alerts. Orono Police Department received a report of scammers posing as law enforcement and calling and threatening arrest unless payment was made immediately. They told the victim that they had an outstanding warrant for an unpaid debt and that the fine was due. The scammers demanded immediate payment via Western Union MoneyGram or prepaid debit card. They're using the fear of an arrest to get you to panic and act quickly. These scammers often use spoofed numbers, making it appear that they are calling from your local police department. If there's a warrant out for your arrest, police do not call first. The police will knock on your door or send a certified letter regarding any legal action against you. You can report this and other scams to the Orono Police Department at 952-249-4700.
Thanks for watching First Responder TV, your local public safety source. If you have an idea for a segment, an upcoming public safety or fire prevention event, please let us know. This is Kellie Murphy-Ringate giving you information you can use, share, and live by. See you next time.